Hey there YouTube, my name is Alex, spelled like that, and today we're going to be giving you a tour of my home studio. So let's get right into it. First things first, these are the stairs that I come down every single morning with Charlie. Say hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Yeah, he's a good boy. He likes to help, and there's his stick toy he likes to play with. First thing on the tour is Charlie's water, as well as like a little shoe place. This is a really cool mat that I got from some cousins of mine for Christmas. It's a guitar amp with Ward on it. This is a very filthy, full trash can. A little hard to see, but we actually have a timpani back here. I'm using that one more as a table, and that's kind of ironic considering the fact that all through college I was told that timpani were not tables, and yet here I am using one as a table. We've got, this is my hardware box. I've got all my hardware in here except for that right there is used for, it's a bongo stand. I just got it back. I've got a guitar amp down there that makes some weird spooky sounds, so I gotta get that fixed. There's a tripod that I normally use to hold the camera instead of me holding it, but hey, we're doing something new today. And then right here is the lounge area of the studio. So this is where when people come over to record, they normally come and they sit on this beautiful futon that is definitely not almost 10 years old. And if they need a little heat, because it does get cold down here, we've got a little heater up there on the wall. We've got some posters. I've got Jon Bellion's Stupid Deep, and then I've got guitar chords. And then over here, this is a cool hardware box for touring. So this is used, obviously, you can kind of tell from all of these are old labels and stuff, but this was used to basically, by a band to tour, and they would just like fill their stuff in it, and it's got all this extra padding and extra room so they could throw it on planes and everything would be fine. But I am currently using it to store my vinyl records, which I have a little bit. I'm hoping to get some more soon. And I've got some magazines back there. It's a little hard to see up on top of it. Those are just manuals. But I've got my vinyl record player. It's the Audio-Technica with Billy Joel's 52nd Street on there. I was listening to that just earlier today, so that's good. And I've got my Mackie speakers hooked up to that. Let's see, I've also got my SM57, and these are the paperwork and the case for the Nady PCM 100 microphone, which I just did a review on. So if you'd like to check that out, you can click on the link in that top right hand corner. I definitely know how to do cameras. No spoilers. And here we are at the drums. I'm not going to do a full breakdown. If you'd like to see a full breakdown of my drums and hardware and everything, go ahead and leave me a comment. But let's just give you a quick breakdown. So these drums are kind of a culmination of a little bit of everything. The cymbals are mainly Meinl because I love Meinl cymbals, but I do have some things here and there. So I've got pretty much all Byzance cymbals. This here is, I'll break down this. This is a Sabian stack between a B8 Pro Splash, 10-inch Splash, and one of their choppers. It's a little hard to see, but yeah, I've got a chopper underneath that. And then when you hit it, it just makes a really crisp, clean, kind of hi-hatty sound, but a little more open. And if I want it tighter, I can just tighten up the lug on it. This is kind of a culmination of a lot of drum kits. So this snare is a Voyager snare that's flipped upside down, so that way you can have the snares on the top head with a nice little message there. Somebody on Instagram told me that one time, and I really liked it, really resonated with me. So I wrote it on a snare drum. This right here is my DW. It's in kind of like a red matte color. I really like it. It's got such a great sound. I'll put the actual specs of it right here, somewhere right over here. And then that tom and that kick are from my first kit, the Perform. Actually, this might be, now that I think about it, I think I swapped that out. Yeah, that's a rack tom from the Voyager kit. And then I've got my floor tom from the Voyager kit, and then I converted this bass, which I think is a Pearl Export, bass that I got as payment for doing a job, and I turned it into a gong drum. So basically what I did was I reconfigured, I used some floor tom legs, I took the bottom head off because I wanted it really dead, and I didn't have to poke any new holes in it. I reused all the old hardware holes. So yeah, I got that there. All right, now believe it or not, there is a window right there. Crazy. So this is just kind of the general storage area. You can see I've got a lot of drums in there. I've got some amps, I've got drum heads, I've got camera equipment, I've got some more posters. I'm a big Hollow Knight fan. I'm really excited for Silksong, but I'm not one of those crazy people who's like, give us Silksong now or I'll die. Take your time, guys. Take your time with Silksong. But yeah, so we start off with the Boom Whackers. Really nice set of boom whackers that I somewhat stole from a friend of mine. We've got a little bit of a collection of bass pedals. I really like bass pedals. I don't know what it is about them, if it's just the mechanic look of it, but I just love bass pedals. So I have a lot of Pearls, I have Mapex and Atama, and then I'm using a couple other ones on the kit as well. And then I've just got general like office supplies down there. I've got bonus cymbals here, I've got small cymbals here, bigger cymbals here. I've got a few more snares that I really need to like go and fix up. A lot of them are missing lugs. I'm a huge hoarder, as you can tell. I've got all of my bags and stuff are just kind of like shoved into that corner. We've got all of our camera stuff, so I have some extra cameras there. I've got extra lights, extra batteries, lenses, all that. Drum heads, tons of drum heads, as well as some stuff that I want to hold on to. And then I've got all of my soft cases for drums in case I have to play a show, which I haven't had to in a very long time, so they're kind of getting a little dusty, but maybe soon I'll break them out. Okay, this is actually a new acquisition. I found this at Habitat for Humanity Restore. There's another drum, but it's like inside there with more storage. Currently trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm pretty sure it was from like the 1970s. It's some weird company. I'm gonna put the name of the company right there. Boom. Perfect. Got a Budrum, or however you pronounce that. Irish Celtic hand drum. And then here I just have like, I would love to go through each one of these, but I'm just gonna spare you. It's a lot of drums. It's a lot of drums. I do have like a djembe back there that needs to be restrung with a new head. I've got a conch that you can blow into. Charlie absolutely hates this, but here it goes. There you go. So then I've got some more drum heads there, some more drums, but this is kind of like my electrical gear. So I've got that stuff there. I've got just like soundproofing and stuff like that down there. I've got an amp, a speaker. This is a homemade rain stick. Sounds pretty dope. Here's an ocean drum. Got my bongos, got my extra ukulele, and I've got a doumbek in its case. And then down here I have like an aux box. I'm blurring out this because I don't actually like that company. But yeah, so I've got some stickers on there, and then I've got an Octapad. Use that every now and then. All right, so that's actually going to move us over to Guitar Center. Not the actual Guitar Center. This is the faux Guitar Center. So we've got our bass guitars right there, the Yamaha, and then this is a Ventura. Much more of a bass player, which is why they're in front. I've got an electric guitar here. This is a Fender Stratocaster. I really like it. It has good tone, and it just needs somebody who knows how to play. This is my first ukulele. So this is a Cordoba. This is one that you can actually plug direct in, which I like, even though the pickup, it's just a microphone, but it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And it's probably very out of tune. Actually, it's not too bad. All right, so that's Guitar Center. We do have one more guitar, but we're gonna talk about that in just a second. Rototoms, haha. All right, now this here, see if I can get the light to, yeah. So on the very top, we've got some bonus storage. Yeah, nothing really to go into on that. This is a secondary monitor. So what I'll basically use this for is if I'm doing video work or, you know, something like that, I might play some music, or I'm a big Yankees fan. So sometimes I watch the Yankees on here while I'm working, or other teams. I just like watching baseball in general. So this is a Sanus. This is sort of like a weird outboard cabinet thing. I'm not exactly sure what you would call that. Let me know in the comments below what you think this should be called, and whatever the funniest name is, that's what I'm going to start calling it from now on. Every single time I reference this, I'll call it that. All right, so this is a lot to go through. This is like partly storage, partly outboard gear, but I'll just do a quick run through. So these are like journals, or I've got like my Mac CD thing for when I need to burn CDs whenever I come out with a new album. These are my hard drives by Glyph. I really like Glyph. These require power, and so recently I got myself an SSD, and I'm so happy that I did it. And then this is a cool little Fender FX bass pack. Now this is my outboard gear, or at least this is the outboard gear that I've put into this so far. We've got other things that we're going to review here, and then maybe decide if I'm gonna actually put it in here. But for right now, I've got two Scarletts. These are the Scarlett 18i20s. This one up here is a 3rd gen. This right here is a 2nd gen. The reason why I got two of them is honestly mainly for the drums, because I generally run 10 to 11 inputs from the drums if I'm doing like a drum cover or anything where I want like a lot of really cool sounds coming off of it. So I'll use multiple mics on certain things, and they're cool because they can feed right into each other. So basically you can plug them together so that way they're just basically one giant thing. So there's only 8 inputs on each one, but you can put them together to get 16. There's still a little bit more room. Like I could probably put a 2i2 and hook that into there to get 18, but honestly that's a little overkill for me. I've got my Furman M8X squared, I think is probably what they call it. I mean, that's what it says right here, so I'm assuming that's what they call it. It's an outlet, so it's got one here, but it's got like 7 or 8 in the back, and this is what I plug everything that I'm going to record into, because it takes out all of the ugly little fuzzies that you get when you're dealing with a bad circuit breaker, which we don't have great electric in this basement. So now down here we've got some odds and ends. I've got a Micro Freak right here. I've got a Roly Lumi right here, and then this is a Spire. It's a little dusty because it's been a minute since I've done any sampling, but that's what I normally use to collect samples. And then there's like some little odds and ends and chords, and then we're in mic land. So here's a microphone. I'm not going to show you any of these because I'm going to be doing some reviews of these, but this is a microphone. This is a case for all of my drum mics, and then I've just got a bunch of microphones down here. All right, so that's that. Now we move over onto the desk. Now this desk is a standing desk. Since I've got this turned on, I can show you. It's a Foley is the brand name. I really like it. My lovely mother got this for me for Christmas because I have really bad posture and I'm trying to get better about that. So what I like about it is that you have all of these presets. I mean, it's pretty typical. I'm not going to act like a Foley is better than anything else, but the price was decent, and it's pretty easy to preset. So right now we're on preset 1. 2 is my general standing preset.
It's gonna... You're seeing it. Oh my goodness.
Boom. There's all the cables. Gross. Let's start from left to right. So we've got our Novation Launchpad X. I use this to not only control Ableton, but also to lay down funky ass beats. I think these are like computer monitor stands, but they work great for holding up your speakers, which for my speakers I have the very sexy Focals. I don't know exactly which model these are, but these are like the small ones, small Focals. We've got our PCM 100 by Nady. So this guy here, this is the Arturia Keylab 49 Essential. Got some beat pads, though I don't really use them because I've got that guy. These knobs and faders can be used to control, but I find it's a little bit difficult to actually set all that up. So I mainly just use it as a MIDI keyboard and less of a MIDI controller, but it's got everything that you need: octaves, pitch benders, mod. I do play this pretty often, but I just don't get into the deep grooves, so I should probably, like, I don't know, hose this down with water one day. Then we just have some knickknacks. I would go into them, but honestly, it's probably a little boring for you, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if you want me to, again, just leave me a comment in the comments below. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead, so that's my mouse pad. Sorry for all the people who get offended by curse words. I'll blur this out right now, just for you. Gardening shears, because you never know when you need to trim the vegetation. This guy's great for keyboards, or specifically, what brings us to the next thing, the heart and soul. This is the Casio Privia PX860. I love this piano. I play this piano every single day. So it's got all of the pedals that you would need. Hey, djembe. It's got all the pedals that you would need. Sustain, whatever the middle one does, whatever the outside one does. I use the sustain pedal, and that's pretty much it. So, but yeah, love this piano so much. And then the last thing, the thing that I said I was going to talk about, but I didn't. This is a Washburn. I would love to tell you what kind of guitar, acoustic guitar it is. It's a, yeah, I don't know what kind it is. It was the $100 kind. I want to say it was $100, but it might have been more than that. I'll put the actual price right here on the screen. But yeah, so that's the studio. This is where I work every day. We make pretty dope music here, and I think we're making pretty dope videos here lately. So if there's anything that you saw that you're curious about, feel free to let me know in the comments what you want to know. I am a very open book. I will tell you exactly how I feel. Thank you guys so much for watching this all the way through. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications, all the good stuff to show your support for this channel. And I will see you all next week. Bye.